So this is homework 6, question 15, and the question is, find the derivative of cosine squared cotangent to the power of 6 t. So in this case, we're always going to use the chain rule. So in order to make my job easier, here's the application of the chain rule, the formula. And in order to make my job easier, I have decided to assign a value to each of them. So u will be cosine cotangent to the power of 6t, w will be cotangent to the power of 6t, and then v will be cotangent t. And this is simply to make my life doing the chain rule easier. So I know I'm gonna have to do dy times du, dy du times du dw times dw dv times dv du, dv dt, to give in the end. These all cancel out and it gives you dy dt. So in this case, dy du, remember that du is cosine cotangent 6t. The original function was cosine squared cotangent 6t. So you will use the power rule and you will take out the 2 and put a 1 to the power, the cosine to the power of 1. So it's 2 cosine cotangent 6t. The next one is du dw. So remember that u is cosine cotangent 6t and w is cotangent 6t. So we know that the derivative of cosine is negative sign. So in this case, it will be negative sign of cotangent to the power of 6t. Then we have to do dw dv. So w is cotangent to the power of 6t and v is cotangent t. So again, we're going to do the power rule and we're going to take out the 6, which would be 6 cotangent, and then to the power of 5t, which is n minus 1, which is 6 minus 1, which is 5. And then lastly, it's dv dt. This is incorrect. dv dt, where v is cotangent t. So we know that the inverse of cotangent t is negative cosecant squared t. So the derivative, is negative cosecant squared t. Therefore, dv du would be negative cosecant squared t. And now all we have to do is multiply all these values together according to the chain rule. So we know that 2 times 6 is 12, and a negative give you a positive, so it's 12. And then cosine cotangent to the power of 6t, sine cotangent to the power of 6t, cotangent to the power of t, 5 to the power of t, and then cotangent to the power of 5t, and then cosecant squared t, negative cosecant squared t, So that's the answer to the derivative of cosine squared cotangent to the power of 6t.